As we move closer to the November midterm elections, we're keeping an eye on races to watch out for throughout the country. And today we're taking a look at the West Virginia race, 1 week ahead of the state's Republican Senate election. A new Fox News poll shows Evan Jenkins in the lead with 25%, followed by Patrick Morrisey with 21% and Don Blankenship with 16%. Those three will debate each other tonight. Hoppy Kercheval joins me now. He's the host of Talkline on West Virginia Metronews. Hoppy, what are some of the most important issues right now that West Virginians are concerned about for tonight's debate?
Well, Rena, if you look at the Fox poll, you find that the top issues are the economy and the drug problem in West Virginia. We have a serious opioid issue. Those are the two biggest issues. However, there are other issues that are really taking precedent here, and that is who can beat Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin's expected to win renomination for the Democratic Party to run for re-election, and the Republicans are very intent on trying to beat Joe Manchin. So that's a big question in this primary. Who do Republicans think has the best chance of beating Joe Manchin in November?
So if the big question is who can beat Joe Manchin, who are the other three candidates, Hoppy?
Well, let's talk about the three that are going to debate tonight. First of all, as you mentioned, Evan Jenkins. Evan Jenkins is a Republican congressman who serves the 3rd District of West Virginia, southern West Virginia, whose claim to fame is he knocked off a longtime Democratic congressman to win that seat 2 elections ago. Then there's Patrick Morrisey. Patrick Morrisey is the West Virginia Attorney General. He also knocked off a longtime Democrat and won re-election 2 years ago. So he's in the middle of his term, so he can continue to serve while he's running for this seat. And then there's Don Blankenship, who might be the more fascinating story. He's the former head of Massey Energy and a longtime businessman. But of course, he was the head of Massey in 2010 when the Upper Big Branch mine exploded, killing 29 miners. As a result of an investigation into that tragedy, he was convicted of a misdemeanor safety violation and spent 1 year in prison.
So, Hoppy, I want to actually play a soundbite from you, a political ad. It's from Blankenship, his new 30-second campaign spot. Then I want to get your reaction on the other side of this.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Don Blankenship, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. The politicians are running a lot of crazy ads. They blew up the coal mine and then put me in prison. Now they're running ads that say the coal mine blew up and I went to prison. There's no surprise there. But if you want jobs, if you want to end the drug epidemic, and you want to protect the unborn, you need to vote for me. One of my goals as U.S. Senator will be to ditch Cocaine Mitch. When you vote for me, you're voting for the sake of the kids.
Ditch Cocaine Mitch. He's referring to Mitch McConnell there. What do you make of this, Hoppy?
Well, there's a little bit of a backstory here, Rena, and that is in 2014, there was a cargo ship that was leaving Colombia and I think going to Europe, and they found 90 pounds of cocaine on it. And this ship was owned by the Chow family. And I think the name of the ship was the Ping May. And Elaine Chow is part of that family, and she's married to Mitch McConnell. So here's Don Blankenship making this, connecting some dots here and calling out Mitch McConnell. But the issue here is that Blankenship has made no secret out of his contempt for Mitch McConnell and has said that if he's elected, one of the things he'll do is try to ensure that Mitch McConnell does not continue to be the leader of the Senate. So it's part of this whole anti-establishment, drain the swamp effort that Don Blankenship is using in this campaign.
Let's just hope the president doesn't come up to find out about that nickname. Hoppy might be floated throughout Twitter. I can only imagine how that will go down. But I do want to ask you, the president actually does have an 87% approval rating among GOP primary voters in West Virginia. How crucial do you think Mr. Trump plays in this race?
Absolutely crucial. He's very popular in West Virginia, as you said, great numbers among Republicans and a lot of independents. And these candidates, particularly Evan Jenkins and Morrisey, have really fallen all over themselves to say they are the best person to be in Washington to help with the Trump agenda. Particularly Evan Jenkins has gone that route. So Trump is a huge factor in this race, and whoever gets the nomination will be counting heavily on Donald Trump's support to try to upend Joe Manchin. That's for sure.
So sticking with President Trump, he won the state with over 68% of the vote. Do Republicans feel that Democratic Senator Joe Manchin is really vulnerable here?
They do. They see this as a winnable seat. West Virginia has gone red over the last several elections. It used to be a solidly blue state, Rena, but now it's a red state. And Joe Manchin's kind of the last holdout of the Democratic Party. He's a very popular politician, but he's really the last big-name Democrat to hold a statewide office in West Virginia. So Republicans in West Virginia, and I think nationally, also think this is their opportunity to take Manchin out.
Hoppy, what are you watching for in tonight's debate?
I'm watching to see who can separate himself from the others. There is a large undecided bloc. The poll you referred to shows they're pretty even. The country's going to be watching. This is a nationally broadcast debate on a competing network. And with so many undecideds, who can step out tonight? And lots of times we watch debates, and it's a reinforcement of our preconceived notions. It doesn't change the election. I think tonight's debate could actually change it. I think somebody could win this election with a big performance tonight.
Hoppy Kercheval, so grateful you could join us to give us a sense of politics outside the Beltway. Thanks, Hoppy.
It's my pleasure.
We'll still have